in biology, we have the double helix of the DNA. And in the double helix of the DNA, we have so many genes. And we have the Human Genome Project, which has like decoded all of the genes that we have. And we know that there are some genes which give rise to the expression of greatness, like really good fitness, really beautiful skin, very clear thoughts, creativity, and all of that. And then there are some genes that lead to diseases. So just tying that whole narrative here, would you say that these ropes or karma could also be, we hear so much about good and bad karma, like do more good karma, don't engage in this is bad karma. Would you say that similar to genes, which are positive genes and negative genes, and there's expression of both, could you explain that in a sense of karma? Like we say that yes, karma is like a rope that is keeping us tied down almost like an animal, like even without our own knowledge sometimes, that we are tied down to this human existence and our own mindscape. How do we escape this? Or can we even escape this? What is good karma then? Is good karma also keeping us tied down? Or is there something called good karma, bad karma?
Take the emotion of anger. It conveys to the people very easily. I take this emotion normally as an example. Many people complain that either about themselves or about other people. Oh, that guy is a very tempered fellow, and he gets very angry, so I don't like. So we know anger is not a good, something very pleasing to other people.
Yes.
So it's a negative virtue or negative emotion. And regarding our own self, sometimes we too make such statement that, yeah, I get angry very quickly and I don't know what to do with it. And that's why my relationships are getting spoiled.
Correct.
With this awareness also, somebody is not able to control the anger. After the anger is, spitted out, they realize, oh, what I did was wrong. But saying sorry and all that will not help much.
Yes.
Already it is registered in the other person's mind. Right?
Correct.
So people start branding each other as one is a very ill-tempered person, or a very angry person, or a man of jealousy. All these raga and dveshas start playing around each one's personality. So now, let us stick to this example of anger. Samskara is related to anger only I am talking.
Okay.
What is samskara? Samskara is an impression in the mind which happens because of repeated actions. They are all interrelated. It's almost like a habit. You create the grooves of something that you become later. So angry person means you don't become angry overnight. A person to be branded as angry person.
Right.
So there is a repeated performance of actions related to certain reasons and environments and people. So much that the circuits become automatic in their expressions.
I agree. The pattern is set.
Yeah, it kind of becomes spontaneous.
Right.
Then the person has no control over the anger. It's like your addiction to coffee or alcohol. First, how does it happen? The entire process. It's very interesting to observe because it relates to all of you. First day, somebody offers you coffee, a cup of coffee. And then you say, no, I don't drink coffee. I don't know. I've never tasted it. I don't want. Then the other person is offering it with so much of love. Says, no, nothing will happen. You taste it, you will like it. These are the normal conversations you have. Not only to coffee, anything that you offer.
Yes.
Then out of courtesy you drink. Then the mind says, yeah, it sounds good. Feels good. So then next time when the word coffee is heard by the mind, it relates to the previous experience of enjoying that coffee. Okay, let me try, why not? So over a period of time, the mind has registered its repeated action of drinking coffee, that it starts getting addicted. It starts liking it. Then there will come a time when we start saying, oh my God, when I get up, I must have a cup of coffee, otherwise my engine will not work.
Yes.
It can be coffee, it can be tea, or it can be alcohol, or hot water, whatever you are addicted to. But some are good, it keeps your health good. So you can continue to do it as a good habit. Some are not. So this is what we call samskara.
Okay.
So if a person is abusive of another person, how did it happen? It did not happen overnight. Normally between partners and couples, this is the question they come to with.
Toxic relationships.
Yeah. Now it's become very fashionable to talk about this, using these words, trendy words, and the way they talk, express themselves in front of me, I'll be just looking at them, the awesome, what language this person can use, so trendy and all that. I try to pick up those words. But they are talking about something very sad about themselves.
Yeah.
But look at the confidence with which they speak, as though I am being right to express my sadness. For that we give the names. I am open-minded, I am bold. Achhi baat hai, these are all good things to happen. You can see in the present day scenario in the society that people are outgoing and expressive, bold and all that. But at the same time I feel people have forgotten where to draw the line. Enough of this. Again that kind of expression becomes addiction. See, the nature of the mind is like that. I am not interested in individuals. All minds are the same. So mind has this sponge quality, sponge or sponge,
Yeah.
that it loves to absorb whatever is given. That's why childhood days are very precious, where what is given and what the child absorbs. This is what we call samskaras. Giving good samskaras, giving bad samskaras. So later on, when a person reaches his adulthood and he is branded either in a negative way or positive way, the source is in the childhood. It can be childhood traumas. Again, trauma is another word, fashionable word today. The pains and frustrations and agony that the child goes through, that gets crystallized in the mind as samskara because of the repeated listening to typical pattern of behavior from the parents or neighbors or teachers, whoever the children come across in their lives. So a human being is a complex being who is a kind of sponge which has absorbed all these aspects in the name of growing. But how many people can understand a person in this background to be compassionate on the other person? So naturally, the immediate reaction is retardation. React in a bold way, wild way, and talk about my right. My right. So complexity increases between two relationships. The tragedy of human life in the present day is that it wants, because of the exposure, technology and all that, it wants to understand the whole world around him. But that mind has failed thoroughly to understand who am I. So how can it happen that you try to understand the whole world, which is a bigger thing in dimension, when you are not able to understand what you are? So yoga and spirituality, Tantra and all these systems of practice tells you, don't worry about the world. Even if you spend whole lifetime, you will not be able to understand it because it's ever changing.
Correct.
For today, what is true is a lie tomorrow. Today, what is right is totally wrong tomorrow. Anything can become topsy-turvy. So, what will you catch as a truth? What will you catch as something definite, something concrete to hold on to? Impossible. So, turn inward, understand who you are, and then you will understand the whole world very easily. That's why when you go to the masters, spiritually enlightened masters and all, For them, the entire universe is one. There is no difference between one individual and the other. So because of that state of energy that they maintain, you immediately feel relaxed, feel free, lovable, and all positive feelings you imbibe within no time. It becomes such a easy flow with that kind of a person. Everybody can become so. But they have not made any attempts to understand what they are, what stuff they are made up of. And the most intriguing aspect of our personality, which is very hard to understand, is this karma part. How we create our own karmas.
Right.
Through simple actions, that we become that and we get branded as so. Just now you used the word toxic person, right?
Yes.
Nowadays it's become very common to criticize another person as toxic.
Yes.
But I don't even question twice whether am I being toxic.
Myself.
What is this?
Yeah.
Toxicity.
Yeah, am I contributing to it?
Yeah. We never ask ourselves, because that samskara is not given at all at any point of time, either by the parents or by the teachers or by the neighbors or friends. Everybody is ignorant about it. So we fight on a nonsensical ground about our rights and the wrong of the other person. When the very premise is wrong, how can you derive happiness out of that relationship? Impossible. Not at all. It can happen. Not at all. So, coming back to anger. With the repeated actions, when I perform, being angry and all that, there is something happening inside of me. So that emotion, out of hundreds of emotions, that gets strengthened, crystallized, and slowly, gradually, it goes to the bottom of your existence, where deep down your unconscious mind is sleeping. And that unconscious mind pushes this down, because all these things, all our actions, anger, emotions, thought process, they go down deeper and deeper, because conscious mind has the intelligence and the capacity to push the subconscious mind and unconscious mind, because at their location only you can make out.
Yes.
Very successfully. Every human being has mastered this art. So we wear masks. So we show what is not we are.
Yeah.
So every living together relationship, every love affair starts with the best of the mask. But cannot hold on, no? It becomes suffocating.
Slowly the
Then
masks
slowly
fall.
you throw off the masks. Then the true picture comes out. Oh, then we exclaim, oh my God, if I had known that you are this kind of a person, I wouldn't have, no, blah, 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 blah. And then, punctured.
Yeah.
It can be with parents, it can be with children, it can be with friends, it can be with teachers, any relationship. I very confidently claim it as my observation that humans have suffered miserably in this area of relationships. What is life? Life is nothing but relationship.
Yes.
That means I have not understood the ABCD of what life is, and I claim that I am leading my life. Leading that too. Not even following. Not even following. So, any viewer can challenge me on this, that I am wrong in saying this. Looking at their own life and their karmas and their emotions, their samskaras. So, they start residing as Vasana. They all. Vasana means residing. Then that becomes yours. It's like when you stay in your own house, you are so relaxed. So people start relaxing with those virtues and vices.
Like how they say, this is who I am.
Yeah. You have to accept me as I am. This is what I am. So they start relaxing there. And they are not hesitant to say, this is what I am. They start accepting all these limitations as a quality or a virtue. It is the work of the ego, supporting the mind. It's a very complex thing. Karma is a very complex thing. So, the chain of connectivity, the links are like this. By repeated actions, I have strengthened one quality in me or one emotion in me. It can be any emotion. I have just taken up the anger because everybody experiences it.
It could also be a positive emotion.
Yeah, you can be a loving human being. That's how Yoga Shastra, these spiritual practices are meant to change you at the DNA level. That you can be a murderer or an angry person, hateful person. You can be totally changed as a personification of love and compassion. All the masters go through this play of karma, and so that chain becomes a circuit. The moment at the Vasana level, samskara level, deep down, there is a triggering factor to get angry, it quickly gets activated because it's ready to come out.
Because it's become our home.
All the time suppressing. There's a spring action. The more you suppress, greater the force with which it comes up. Right?
Right.
And then that emotion, it translates into emotion. From the vasana to samskara to an emotion. And then emotion gets
To
supported
action.
by thought process. Okay, I'm getting angry. I am angry. What I am going to do? I am going to hit the other person. Or kick the person. Slap the person on the face. Or go to the extreme, I can murder the person.
Right.
And then it gets translated into action. So when it comes into action, it has a long process. Very subtle process which is not seen. Which is invisible.
That is the journey that it takes from vasana till action.
Yeah. Only in the action it gets manifested. People can see only the action. Little bit of emotion. Nothing else. Even in anger, some people have the mastery of showing cold anger.
Yeah.
This mind is, I tell you, capable of anything and everything. Like this, we create lot of centers in our mind. And Patanjali Maharshi, a great sage, who talks about vrittis, written Yoga Darshanam, Patanjali Yoga Darshanam, vrittis. All these things. Vritti simply means a thought construct or a mental modulation. Like these thousands and thousands of mental modulations, thought constructs are working in our brain cells. And they are so well connected because of our repeated performance of the great actions that we talk about. So, what is your mind? Mind is a bundle of such emotions and thoughts. Very intricate, knotted. So, if you try to unknot, you feel exhausted. It's not possible for me. You get lost. And I become a frustrated person, disappointed person, miserable person. So much happens in the mind. So any action performed is the final cord. Strand is another word is cord. C-H-O-R-D. Cord. That binds you forever. So an action performed cannot be taken back. Because it's already performed.
Yeah.
So Baba gives another beautiful analogy to say that actions are like your arrows kept at the back, ready to shoot. Some one arrow you have already taken and then set the target on the bow. Some are waiting on your back when to be shot. So the actions already performed are the arrows which are already shot, and it has travelled significantly a distance and it has hit the object. Now nothing can be done. That is called a karma, classified as prarabdha karma. This word is also very familiar.
Yes.
If the children are very bad, the mother, or normally mother, they would beat their forehead and say, "You are my prarabdha karma."
Yes.
Means that which cannot be changed. Because the arrow is already
set in motion.
Not only motion, it has reached
Already
its destination. हो गया उसका काम.
कुछ नहीं
जो करना है खत्म हो गया. So these things are the strongest karmas in life, which have to be suffered, go through the phase of suffering and reap the fruits of that karma, and you don't have any power to handle it. So my simplest explanation of karma out of my experience is, when you have questions about your life, why my life is like this, or certain issues in life which you feel cannot be sorted out at all, that is karma. The questions which don't have answer the way you wish it, mind wants everything pleasant, right?
Yes.
That is karma. That is binding you. And the category is prarabdha karma. That is the deepest. Because it can be, as you said earlier, after past life, many past lives.
You've been carrying all of that and you
have to carry, because you only created and you made it vasana. They are residing in you.
Right.
It is a black box that you find in the aeroplane. Everything is recorded. If an accident happens,
yes,
you check it and then you will easily understand why and how that accident happened and reason for the crash. Like that, masters have a way to read these karmas. So they understand why this person is suffering, for what.